Good Friday afternoon, everybody. I'm Peter Grant from Zaner Metals in the Denver office. With me, as always, Mr. Peter Thomas from
I'm here.
Chicago.
I'm here in the -3 Chicago today. It's
Oh,
been
really?
oh baby, coming in, crossing over the bridge with the wind blowing off the Chicago Lake
Right up your
was an eye
skirt.
opener. Yeah, baby. Oh,
Yeah,
woo.
I remember those days all too well, and
Uh,
that's why I'm here.
yeah, I know. Yeah, nice and warm in the Rockies. Okay,
Right.
that you think about that. That's a concept for
We've
you.
gotten crazy good snow, though. The
Yeah.
last
Oh,
last
yeah.
couple of weeks or so, a lot of the resorts were 30, 40 inches out of the last storm.
Oh,
So
yeah, the
it's been,
base is monstrous. You and I are
yeah,
both skiers, and I'm so jealous. Oh, it's just you
come
guys
on,
are.
come on
But
out. We'll
after
make
the
some
horrible,
turns.
oh man, after the horrible seasons you guys had before, it's well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's jump right in and start with
sure.
gold as we like to do. Um, Pretty good week overall. We're in fact here on Friday ahead of a holiday weekend. We're seeing new highs for the week. Um, that last week's high at 1593 still probably a little bit out of reach at least for this week. But I kind of like the way we're ending the week.
Yeah, yeah. It's put a good performance in, and we've seen soft but consistent buying from end users, which always adds what I like to refer to as legitimacy to a market. When you have guys coming in to buy product that they're going to be making things with, it always immediately takes the specs out of the way, and it changes the attitude of the market.
Right. And so the big fundamental story, continues to be coronavirus.
Oh
We
yeah.
saw, a pretty big jump in confirmed infections and also deaths yesterday. And it was reported to have been as a result of kind of in a change in the way they're reporting.
Absolutely.
Nonetheless, I think we saw pretty good gains yesterday and follow through gains today, suggesting that kind of the risk off sentiment continues. What do you think?
Well, I concur with you. I think that the lethality is still a question. We don't have a broad enough spectrum of numbers coming out of China that the good people at the CDC who sacrificed their lives, for us and to keep us healthy here in America. Special shout out to them. We appreciate you. But they haven't been able to get the numbers they need to really look at this properly. So I think it's all conjecture at this point to guess what the numbers really are.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough story. We continue to follow it, obviously,
Yep.
and so we're getting pretty. We're updating frequently on Twitter and the various social
Right.
media
Yeah.
channels on that.
Yeah. Follow us on our sites, and we'll try to bring in any numbers that are germane, especially that will have effect on global purchases.
Yeah. What do you think about silver this week?
It's been a dog. You and I talked about it last week. It hasn't changed. We saw some early action in the evenings coming out of Hong Kong, and the New York market came and opened, and it just fell asleep. And it's been looking at it, trying to get back to 18, but it has failed every time. And so right now, it's just a sleepy market waiting for some impetus.
Yeah. So I guess I get a little bit of encouragement from the fact that it's holding the 100-day moving average on a closed basis.
I saw that.
It's
Yeah.
probed below a couple of times, but we've managed to close above it. But yeah, just a very consolidative market.
Right.
I tend to be leaning, towards the bullish side, inclined to be buying dips. But boy, it's as
Buying the
always, silver makes it hard.
Yeah, buying the dips has worked, but it's not like a commodity trade where you start getting results one way or the other, much more rapidly. And
Yeah,
it's
when
just
they come, when the results come, for good or for bad, they come in a hurry.
they come in a hurry. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I also found some encouragement The Silver Institute, with research from Metals Focus, is anticipating an average price for 2020 at 1840. Now that's 13% above the average price for last year, so pretty bullish number. But I'd sure like to be seeing a little bit more upside performance before the first quarter comes to an end here.
Well, as you know, I know the people from the Silver Institute, and every quarter they put out the best report there is on silver, period. Numbers are tremendously reliable. And when I saw that number, I was like, what? I mean, seriously. So can we get up there? We can get up there
They
if
must
China,
they must know something that the market doesn't know yet.
yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I would love to see this market pick up. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Platinum and palladium.
Let's talk about our palladium first, because it's been absolutely the hottest market there is, and it has reflected what we said really over the last 2 or 3 weeks, which is look for a little slowdown. Consumption has slowed down. We're seeing China buying a little less product right now. We're seeing the recyclers, the auto cats, the guys that recycle the net product out are starting to pick up some of the gap there. So the market is getting a little toppy, and it's catching up to the big gap that it had in production. So right now we have a very short interim top in, and let's see how it behaves.
Yeah, yeah, and so obviously China's a big player in
Absolutely.
this arena, and so the coronavirus is absolutely a factor to
Sure.
contend with. I mean, do you think do you think that the current corrective consolidative phase is going to continue for some time here, or is it just staging for the next leg higher?
Well, I think it's gonna continue to feel the pressure. I think when you aren't moving trucks, which is really where it goes to in the refining process and the creation of the AutoCat to purify the air to bring down the NO2 count in China. And they still have a ban on a lot of trucking there. So absolutely, Pete, you're 100% right. Interim top. Should we be buying dips? Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, there's still legitimate shortages, and all they're doing is catching their breath and actually being able to fill in a few gaps, but that it's not going to last.
Yeah. So I'll contest your categorization of palladium as the hottest market, because rhodium
That's not even a
rhodium
market.
set another all-time high today.
That's more like a missile shot. Okay. I mean, I saw it today, and the first bid was 300 higher, and I went, I'm tapping the screen. Hello, is that for real? I mean, that was the first trade, you know?
Yeah. So the Johnson Matthey price fix in New York was $11,500 today.
I saw that. I think it's going to settle around 11.2, 11.3.
Yeah.
Yeah, just startling. And
everybody wants to know, Pete, where's the top?
Oh, and I know, you know, and I'm not telling you. Yeah.
I'm gonna short it right at the top.
Yeah, I'll be the guy with the umbrella in his drink on the island that I own, going, that was the top, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I mean, you know, anybody that tells you they know that, run. But for right now, demand is still there. Production is low. And
so why do you think that Rhodium is able to ignore the whole China piece?
Because there still isn't enough around. I mean, it's just real simple. Here's what happens. You're a net buyer, you're a net producer, and you need 50 ounces. All right. And you're saying to yourself, okay, we're at 12,000. All right. And I want to dip. I really, on my books, I need to pick it up at 10.8. All right. So you're waiting and it's going higher every day. So finally you have to come in and buy it. You don't have a choice. You need the product. So what are you going to do? You have to pay the next bid, which is 300 higher. And what do? You get hit, and you get hit hard, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just going to continue.
Right.
And it doesn't matter whether it's a coronavirus or not. I know on my books, if I'm a COO and I'm a producer, making Toyota automobiles, I'm going to need X amount of product, and I have no choice. I have to meet my deadline, so they're paying whatever they have to pay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So copper seems to be kind of ignoring things this week as well. I mean, it's lower today,
Yeah.
but back around 262 or so. Um, I'm a little bit worried about the chart pattern.
Okay.
It looks a little bit like an ascending wedge, which would be a continuation pattern within uh, the downtrend that, well, the free fall basically that occurred when this coronavirus thing first broke. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. Do you think the rally off the 248 and change low has legs here, or?
Well, let's put it this way. First off, 3 weeks ago, you and I pretty much picked the bottom. All right. I mean, we said, look, 13 days straight down. We
Yeah,
know there's a little more continuation here. A week or so ago, we said, hey, you know what? We're seeing orders. We're seeing our hedgers coming in, buying product, lifting shorts, and saying, I need product, not a lot, but we were so grossly oversold that any buying, has a more magnified effect. And we rallied 1,200 points. That's pretty significant.
yeah, absolutely.
And so we get to your question, which is, are we at an interim top right now because of the slowdown in China? Yes, not a question. All right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I I say the 260, 262, 260. I mean, I want to be palms out. I want to be a seller in that area if I'm holding product because I think we'll see a little setback and then be looking to enter into the mid 250s to be a buyer again. So
right.
figure you guys 6 or 8 cent ratio in there.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about the inventory build
Right.
that was happening in last week's video, and that's probably still the case today, which is going to continue to probably be a little bit of a headwind above 260,
Yep.
262.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think your
You know,
call
your
for a
your
range
your
is probably
50
a good one.
gallon drum solvent containers, your refined and even your recycled are all going to continue to build up. And if you remember, we described it like a sine wave. And at the point now, we're seeing that wave getting closer to the top. The pressure will come on, it'll come down because there's more deliverable products building up. And I think that analogy still holds.
Absolutely. So
Yep.
we have a short week ahead of us next
Yeah.
week.
Right.
President's Day on Monday. Um, Markets will be closed, and
Right.
then and anything exciting coming up next week that you see on the horizon?
Well, we've got 4 days. I think a lot of the industrial metals are going to continue to feel the pressure coming out of China. It goes to exactly what we've just been talking about, which is inventories building. A lot of nickel coming out of the Philippines. A lot of tin. So there's a lot of product around, and it's going to continue to push on this market. We've had a little bit of a constructive rally off of the oversold condition, and look for a midterm easy week the next 4 days over the short holiday. And all eyes on China, all eyes on what's going on with the coronavirus, and hopefully the numbers will start to decrease.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with that, we'll call it a wrap.
Okay.
Thank you once again. If you're enjoying these videos, please give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The details will be on the following screen. And from Denver, have a great weekend.
And from Chicago, stay warm.